You see that I'm broken, not trying to fit into your mold, and I'm better off alone. I'll disregard you in the summer. I'm not calling out for you. Yeah, they never want a trip like you to wear me out. But if you stand.
So don't make this mistake. The secret of aging is broken down here. So stay tuned while we dive into the topic of aging, which is a big topic. Hey, are you ready to talk about aging? Because you know what? All of us are aging, whether we like it or not. It is one of those facts of life. And there's no amount of money that you can buy you to some time, some kind of a time machine to stop that aging process. All right, so we're the daily energy bite for you today, and what our goal is to help you create the health and the life of your dreams. So how's everybody today? Well, we lost Kathy, so she'll be back, I'm sure.
Doing wow. Doing good.
Okay. That's good. All right. So the first question is to define what is aging. And, you know, I'm going to say that for aging, um, this is, everybody might have their own view on this topic for sure. So this is coming from my truth and what I know to be true, based on what I've read and looked at, and some of the research I've done. So I'm going to start by saying, what is aging? So aging actually is a pretty complex subject. It's a pretty complex process. And basically, it's characterized by physiological changes that increase our susceptibility to various diseases and conditions over time. So, the older you get, the more susceptible you are to chronic diseases. And so, this is an interesting one. People don't actually die from aging. They actually are dying from some kind of a age-related disease. So there were studies done on centenarians. So these are people who've lived to over 100, and they found that they actually, people think that they died of old age. Well, they actually died of some kind of chronic condition, and typically it was a heart failure. And you think, I think then the nice thing about it for them is that people think it's age related because they didn't have any symptoms before they died, so they were able to live a long, vibrant life. And so this is it. So we all age. That's a fact of life. Hang on. Let me see. I just had a little backlash there. So we're all aging, and we can't stop the clock from ticking. But I think here's what I think the goal should be, or the goal is. So you can disagree with me on this, but it's to extend our life that is characterized by vitality, energy, and overall well-being, while minimizing the amount of time that we spend in age-related diseases. So that's what I'm going to say is the goal, hopefully, rather than spend a lot of time. So if you want to live as long as you can and have a vibrant and energetic and healthy life, with very little time and chronic disease, then you typically need to adopt a healthy lifestyle, whatever that means. And that's like the $64,000 question. What is a healthy lifestyle. But it's really about preventative measures to uh, to delay the onset of chronic disease or prevent the onset of chronic disease. So, is it okay if I tell a little story? Yay! Hey, back. Nice to have you back, Kathy. So we, I was dating a guy at one time in my life, and I never had the opportunity to meet his father because his father passed away before I came on the scene, before I met him, and I think he had just passed away like the same year. But here he lived to be 85, which is pretty good. It seems like a good thing to live to 85. But he had come down with, I think he had a heart attack when he was about 60 years old. And then he went on disability from work and then retired from that. And he never regained, from what I understand, he never regained his health after that. And so, he spent the time from when he was 60 to when he was 85, which is 25 years, I think, 25 years, living a life which, was continually shrinking as he got sicker, progressively sicker. But he never had an opportunity. He was basically, sitting and watching TV. Him and his wife would sit together and they enjoyed each other's company, which was great. But there's no, real quality of life, or at least, is that the quality of life that you want to have as you're aging? So it's not your biological age, but it's really your health age that I don't know if it matters, but is the big thing. So we want that quality of life. So then the question is, how do you prevent the onset of chronic disease? Okay, so number one, you got to prioritize your things like regular healthy exercise, a nutrient dense diet, stress management is another one, adequate sleep, your social connections, because we do know, especially after COVID, that we are social and we do need those social connections. And then also avoid some of those harmful things like smoking, excessive alcohol, and all of those. So you can reduce your risk for developing chronic diseases. And of all of those, the number one, I guess, foundation that overarches everything is your nutritious, nutrient dense diet. That is the number one. Now, these other things are important, but that's kind of like a need to play. You need to be in the game. You have to eat well. And so that's also the $64,000 question, because there are lots of different camps in terms of what is eating well and what's healthy eating. So in addition to all of those lifestyle things, so we want to have a healthy lifestyle, but there are also, there's lots of research and medical scientists and doctors who are working to help us I think one of the big things is to be able to identify the chronic diseases early, so early detection and treatment of age-related diseases. But in my book, hopefully we can keep those away by doing the first step. Let's not get into those in the first place. Let's work on a healthy lifestyle. Now, if you already have chronic diseases right now, I don't know if it's diabetes, cancer, heart disease, or whatever, there is also hope. So we're not going to talk about that today, but you can reverse some of those diseases. And so let's see, I have, so the anti-aging industry, just a little bit about that. So we're kind of doing some general things. I wanted to touch on that because this is a big one for sure. And I have a couple of slides that I prepared. So Robert N. Butler, he was a renowned gerontologist and psychiatrist within the anti-aging field. He had a quote here. Oops, if I can go back to his quote. Hang on. All right. I'm having some technical difficulties.
We can see a page that says Robert N. Butler.
Yeah. All right.
And then, okay.
So I'm back again. I was just having a few technical difficulties on my side. So what he said is few subjects in the realm of medicine and social science have been more misleading to the uncritical and more profitable to the unscrupulous than the aging process. And so I wanted to spend a few minutes on this because there is a lot of, well, I'm just going to say it. I mean, there's a lot of room for scammers in this field. The anti-aging industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry, just like the health and wellness industry. Carving some of that out is the anti-aging industry. And you know, we have an aging population, particularly in the West, you know, and the United States and Canada. We had the baby boomers, which came up after the war. And those people now are in their 60s and up. And that's where we had, a big influx of population. Being in the baby boomer era, we have a lot of people who are in that aging category. All right. So one of the things, this is an appealing field because of its promise of prolonging youthfulness and vitality, but it also is a ground for scams. So, and get rich quick schemes. And that's because there is so much, people want to have that eternal youth, that whole idea of the fountain of youth, for sure. There is a lack of regulation on the anti-aging industry. So, pharmaceuticals are tightly regulated, foods are regulated, but overall, this anti-aging market and industry is not regulated. So, there's more room for people to not do the right thing, unfortunately. This is one to be very, very careful of. It's pseudoscientific claims. And what that means is that there has been a scientific study of some sort. Who knows if it's a good study, because not all studies are the same. There's the high quality studies, and there are studies that are funded by people that are just doing the study for their benefit, not the overall for the greater good. Some of these anti-aging products will do, or products or systems or what have you, is they will kind of link themselves to science, and it becomes a pseudoscientific claim, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's all factual and that those claims are legitimate. So you need to be careful. They a lot of times they're based on anecdotal information and not the hard scientific evidence. Going through that, what a good study would go through. There's also people are afraid of aging and maybe afraid of, that comes to dying, but also, people like you want to appear young. Youth is where it's at, although I don't know if that's always true. But so people are who are afraid to age and want to stay looking younger, etc., what can be exploited. There's all these things about celebrity endorsements on anti-aging products can also be misleading. And the anti-aging industry actually is highly lucrative, and there's a lot of products and treatments that have high profit margins. So there's a financial incentive in this industry. And then there's the placebo effect, where sometimes things, and there's nothing wrong with the placebo effect. I think it's interesting that there may not be any real validity to the claim, other than when people think, because this is some kind of an anti-aging, maybe it's curing arthritis, but they get a sugar pill instead of something that actually can cure arthritis. But because they think that they're getting it, they actually their mind is actually working for them to cure their arthritis, but it's only a placebo effect. There's nothing valid behind it. So it's really important to navigate the complexities of this industry and just be a buyer beware, and really make sure that you're looking into what you're buying, and treat these things with some skepticism and a real critical eye, looking for evidence and stuff. So that's just kind of a little bit on the aging. And then we talk about chronic disease. So I thought it would be interesting to show a little note here about some of the leading causes of death. And these are ranked from 1 to 20. And can you see it okay? You can see it okay? Can you still see it?
Yes.
All right.
Leading causes of death, and then ranking 2016 projected 2040.
Yeah, so we have what it is in 2016, was in 2016, and what it's projected to be. And the ones that are highlighted in red are those chronic diseases that are typically lifestyle diseases. Some of the other ones are not lifestyle diseases and not even related to chronic disease. And this, I think, is a global. But coronary disease and stroke are the number one and number two, and they are projected to continue to be in 2040. And then we move on to there's COPD, which is pulmonary disorder, and things like emphysema, and lung cancer. Diabetes is number 15. Kidney disease is number 16. Alzheimer's is 18, and liver cancer is 20. And again, these are looking at age-related. They are age-related, but they're also lifestyle-related. So again, looking at promoting a healthy lifestyle will help you to avoid some of these. And if we look at projected 2040, we look at COPD, chronic kidney disease, Alzheimer's and diabetes, lung cancer, and liver cancer are moving up in the scale. and we're introducing into the top 20 hypertensive heart disease, which is really related to high blood pressure, colorectal cancer, and breast cancer are moving up into the top 20 as we go. So we are moving towards, it seems, based on the projection, more chronic disease, and it's even more important that we look at having a healthy lifestyle and promoting a healthy lifestyle. So that's kind of the whole idea. And I wanted to have another, this is kind of a little bit of a quote as we sum it up. Hang on. Oh, I just removed it. All right. So healthy aging is not about living longer. It's about living better. It's about maintaining vitality, independence, and purpose of life while minimizing the burden of age-related diseases. So that's how I would sum up healthy aging on that note. So that's like I said, a little bit of a summary on kind of what aging is, and the fact that we really have to be mindful and careful when we're looking at all of these many plethora of products and services in the anti-aging field. All right. Any questions on that kind of brief summary?
No, I don't. I don't have any questions, but I think it's sort of like what you talked about at the beginning. It's coming for us. We're approaching this target. So how do we want to miss it?
Well, that's what we want to do, right? Is look at things that we can do to be one of those people that has a long, healthy life and vibrant life for as long as possible, for sure. And that's this, again, that $64,000 question. How do you do that? And the good news is we can do it. It is possible. And that's what's really the good news. All right. So we are going to continue talking about aging and some of the topics around aging, some of these chronic diseases and stuff over the next, I would say, the next couple of weeks, because it's a pretty big area, and we'll do little bite-sized pieces every day. So join us tomorrow as we continue on this aging journey. We are the Leb Show on every day at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So join us tomorrow for more, and follow us for more on this topic. So bye for now, everyone.
Bye.